Hey guys, Joe at Small Home Off-Grid Prepping here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. We cover a lot of great things here. These two videos I'm going to be putting out the next 2 days. This is one of them. We're going to put out another one. These actually are unscheduled videos. We didn't really have these planned, but they're based on your comments and your questions that I've been getting. I know we've been talking about the 4 elements of survival. We've already covered food. We're going to be covering water, fire, shelter. But like I said, these two are basically unscheduled videos. But before I get into this, again, for the second time, I have to apologize to you guys. Until this morning, I had no idea how many comments that we're getting. Some have been going through, other ones go to a different place. I don't know why. So if I have not responded to your comments, just send me an email, smallhomeoffgridprepping@yahoo.com. At this point, I think I have responded to all your emails, all your comments that you guys have sent me. Mosaic, I did get a chance to go on your channel and very impressed with your solar setup, brother. Looks very good. I love it. Very professional. Homestead Engineering, I got a chance to go on your channel as well. Again, very impressed with your professionalism. I just love the way you showed your viewers the engineering on your solar system, all the specifications and all that. I think that was great. Very professional. St. Lucie Prepper, actually you're from my neck of the woods. I lived there for about 10 years. So like I said, just want to thank you guys for subscribing, and I did look at your channels, and again, very professional. Love them. Today we're going to be responding to Paul from California. Paul from California has asked me a question. Basically, Paul's question is what is my plan? What do I do in the event of wolf preppers and looters during SHTF? Okay, how do I protect my property? And I have told you guys I'm going to do a video on security, but this is not that video on security. I will get more in detail, but I want to address the question that Paul asked me. See, like I said, you guys know we have a lot of scheduled videos that are coming out. The thing is, though, is when you guys are writing questions and you want me to answer your questions, some I'll answer on comments, but other I feel that the whole community should be hearing, and that's what this one is. Okay, so we're going to answer Paul's question. We have another video I'll be doing out later today, which somebody's asking me what are the best fuels for generators. Is a gas generator better, propane, natural gas? So again, that is something I'll be addressing in a different video. They both should be coming out this weekend. But answering Paul's question, okay, what is our plan? How have we set ourselves up to deal with looters coming on the property? SHTF hits, a lot of people are going to be suffering, okay, and they realize you have water, you have food, they're going to want to take that, okay, so security is going to be one of the biggest things out there. What we've done in our case, you've heard in different videos, seen the different videos that we put out. First thing we've done, okay, the biggest thing to defending your property is knowing what's going on your property, okay. You're sitting in your house, whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you have people coming on your property, you need to be aware of that. You need to know that. Okay? So the first step we've taken is, like I told you in the other video, we have 16 cameras right now set up on the property that are working. We have a 32 camera setup, but I've currently installed 16 of them, and as time goes by, I'll be working on the other 16. So we have 16 cameras, so somebody coming on the property, we can see everything on the property. There is nowhere on my property somebody can get on without anybody knowing, without us knowing. Also, we have a lot of motion detectors, okay? If somebody comes on the property, the camera has a motion detector in it, but I actually have to have the cameras turned on to see that. So I have a separate motion detectors with a control center in my house. The motion detectors are basically set up, whereas if, let's say somebody sets off motion detector number 9, I can just click on camera number 9 and I see what's going on over there. So I have the motion detectors, I have the security cameras. So like I said, knowing what's going on your property is the most important thing. It's going to give you the best advantage out there, okay? So from there, I have my security cameras, I have my motion detectors, I can see who's on the property, I can see what motion detectors went off, but then you want to have yourself a really good drone, okay? And you want to have a drone that you can actually set out without leaving your house, without leaving the safety of your house. When your motion detector goes off, you've looked at your camera, you see that there's somebody coming on your property that intends to take what you have, okay? And now what you need to do, like I said, now you need to send up your drone, okay? And the drone needs to have a good drone with night vision on it, so you see what's going on at night. All my cameras have night vision, so whether it's day or night, I can see anything that's going on my property. So now you send up your drone, okay? And now you can look around your entire property and you can see if there's anybody outside of your cameras, outside of your motion detector, waiting to ambush you if you come walking outside. Okay, so you got the security cameras, you have motion detectors, you have a good drone that you can launch up without leaving your house, okay, staying in the security of your house, the protection of your house. So now you know what's going on, okay? Now you know, is there anybody outside of your zone, your security zone, waiting to ambush you when you walk out the door? You know where people are in your property that are coming on your property. So now you've given yourself every advantage you have, okay? But the fact is eventually you need to go out yourself and defend your property, okay? You need to take your self-defense tools, and you need to go yourself and defend your family and defend your homestead. That's the security measures we have taken, okay? And I'm not going to get into that part because I don't believe this is something that you should be learning on a YouTube video. I believe when it comes to actually what you need to do for self-defense, you need to be taking lessons from professional people in your area, okay? Having a self-defense tool and not using it, not knowing how to use it, it's going to actually work towards the opposite, okay? If you're not practicing with it and you're not using it, and all of a sudden SHTF hit, all right, and you have these security measures, but then you don't know how, you don't know how to use your self-defense tool. You're not comfortable using your self-defense tools. You haven't practiced using your self-defense tools. Could actually work to the opposite, because if you heard me say before, when this happens, your attitude, your mindset is going to be your biggest self-defense tool, okay? It's not going to be all your preps. It's not going to be all the food you have. I'll tell you guys something, quick story. I saw a movie the other day, and actually the movie sucked. It was a bad movie. I wouldn't recommend it. But what it was about SHTF, okay? And it started off okay, because it starts off where all the divisions going on, our enemies, which we know who our enemies are, I'm not going to mention names, created so much of a division within our country, and you see this happening now. I mean, we have a lot of divisions going on here. I don't think it's going to end up the way this movie did, but it did end up in a civil war, okay? Now, why we're in a civil war and we're all ripping each other apart and we're all preoccupied with everything else going on out there, now we had thousands of terrorists come in, they hit the country with an EMP, they knocked down the power grid, and now the movie was about the basically preppers who were surviving after, and there's one in particular prepper. He was extremely prepped, okay? He had a big ranch. They had put in huge gas tanks with thousands of gallons of gas, all the food you can have for multiple people, all the self-defense tools they had electricity. They were extremely prepped, but this had gone on for about a year, okay? And he was reaching his breaking point, and he's talking to his daughter, and the daughter's trying to, pump him up and this and that, and he says to her, he goes, prepping for this, getting ready, stocking up, that's one thing. He goes, but living this is something completely different, all right? So that was the point to the movie. The rest of the movie was horrible. I kind of turned it off at that point, but he's completely correct, okay? We have food, we have water, we prep, but if all this actually happens, our biggest self-defense tool is going to be our mindset, okay? It is going to be, our attitude, our mindset. The fact is, if you have people coming on your property and you're just trembling and you're panicking and you're not used to the self-defense tools you have, nothing you have is going to help you, okay? So answering Paul's question again, going back to this, like I said, Paul, you want to have a good security system. We are going to cover a video. This isn't going to be my security video. This is just addressing, the question that I thought that basically the whole community should be hearing. So you want a good security system, good cameras. You want to know what's going on. You also want motion detectors as well, and multiple motion detectors. So if people are coming on your property, it's setting off an alarm inside of your house, and they're numbered so you know what motion detector went off. You want to have a good drone, again, that has night vision on it, because if this happens at night, a drone that doesn't have night vision isn't going to, do any good if you're looking around your property and you're trying to see if there's anybody hiding in the bushes to ambush you when you come out your front door. You might think that there's somebody back over here that set off your motion detector, and you come out your front door and there's somebody just outside of your security zone over there. So, like I said, you have to have a good drone that you can look around your property. You have to have good self-defense tools. You have to know how to use these tools. You have to be both physically and mentally prepared, okay? Mentally, again, you throw yourself into a panic, you're trembling, you're not thinking clearly, then you're going to have a big problem with the intruders that are coming on your property. But at the same time, you're going to have to be physically fit enough that you need to move quick. You need to think quick and you need to move quick. So again, answering your question, Paul, this is just only going to be a very short video, just to kind of, again, answer your question, Paul. Again, security cameras, drones, self-defense tools, motion detectors, but then know how to use everything. Okay, security cameras don't mean anything if you don't know how to use them. Same time, your security cameras, if you just put one in each corner of your property and you think they're facing in your property, what happens when somebody comes up from behind your security camera and just clips your wire? That's it. So they don't work anymore, right? So you have to have your security cameras set up to where they not only see everything on your property, but they also see each other. I have security cameras, say, back over here on my property looking this way, getting this angle, but then I have them over here looking this way, getting that angle, and this camera sees that camera. Okay, so nobody can get on my property without me knowing it. Nobody can get to my cameras without me knowing it. So these are the things you need to do to address looters and wolf preppers that are going to be coming out during SHTF. Great question, Paul. I'm glad you asked me that question. Again, I am going to get more into detail, as I promised you guys before, on the security setup, on the security system. You know, hardwiring it, how to position the cameras, we addressed all that. Motion detectors, you know, what kind of motion detectors, where do you get the motion detectors, things like that. So again, great question, Paul. And again, I felt it was one of the questions that needed to be answered on a video, not necessarily. I did respond to you. I hope you've seen the response and kind of told you the same thing. But like I said, we made a video about this as well. So answering your question again, Paul, you basically, you know, knowing what's going on your property is the most important thing. Your cameras, your motion detectors, your drone. But again, eventually you are the one that has to come out and defend your property. Your cameras are not going to stop that looter, that wolf prepper. Your motion detectors are not going to. These things just give you the best tactical advantage that you can have to defend your property. But again, eventually you have to defend your property. Okay, you have to know how to use your self-defense tools. And again, I'm going to recommend, I will not do videos on this. Just like one of the ways you'll see in a video later. One of the ways, gas, natural gas, for the generators. You can make your own methane gas. Okay, if you've exhausted your propane, if it's gone on long enough, you have no gas. I'm not going to show you this because there's good resources out there. I think it's kind of too dangerous that if you're not learning the right way, if you're just listening to a YouTube video, you might not pick up the right thing. So I do know how to make my own methane gas, and you can learn how to make your own methane gas. Methane gas will not work in place of propane, but it will work in place of natural gas. It is a natural gas. So these are things I just think you really, really need to find professionals in your area. Okay, so when it comes to using self-defense tools, go to somebody who sells them, pick the right one. They can teach you how to use it. You can practice using it. They can teach you a lot of different things, but that is going to become your number one defense on your property. When people are trying to come on your property, is going to be you. Okay. So again, guys, we're going to be working on the next video here. I just wanted to address this real quick. Paul had a great question. The generator question was something somebody else asked me. I will try to, again, I am going to address your questions first. We have a lot of scheduled videos, but when you guys are sending me a question, you guys are asking me questions, I'm going to address your questions first. I'm going to address your needs before I go on to the other videos. So that's what we're doing right now. I am going to be going on to the generator video and talking about the different gases and what your features, advantages, benefits of all that. But this was basically just to address Paul from California. Again, thank you for asking the question, and I hope you got a lot out of the answer. I hope you guys got a lot out of the answer. Any more questions, again, comment, send me private emails, private messages, and I will be happy to address whatever you guys are asking me. So, guys, have a great day. I'm going off to make the other video, and we will see you shortly.